Can I start? Yep. Hi, I'm Roger. I'm one of the co-founders of Extinction, as you probably know. I've been involved in Insulate Britain. I've been reading Hannah Arendt. Does anyone know Hannah Arendt? So maybe this is dedicated to her. Also, I'm just speaking for myself. I only ever speak for myself. I was brought up in working class areas of Manchester in the late 70s. I don't use speech that people speak at COP, and I don't give a fuck. Because this is my tradition, this is where I come from, this is who I'm speaking for. I'm speaking for myself, I'm speaking for my tradition, I'm speaking for the land that I belong to. I farmed in Wales 20 years. I'm not farming any longer, for the reason we all know. So I spoke to a scientist a month or two ago. He wrote the article that Claire spoke about. In that article, they said, at the Paris Agreement of 2015, we did not know of a single scientist who thought that 1.5 was possible. And I did a Facebook post and I said, you should write that on your fridge and read it every morning until you're mad as fuck, right? Because for the last 6 years, the climate movement has been pushing 1.5. They're pushing 1.5 still at this COP. It's fucking obscene. That's what it is. It's obscene. It was never going to happen. There was 2,000 odd scientists at 2015, right? Not a single scientist thought it was happening. We've been systematically lied to. Just the first thing to say about what's going on. We've been systematically lied to. It's not a few bad apples, it's the whole fucking thing. I hate being up here. I arrived at like 2 o'clock this afternoon. I'm going at 10 o'clock tomorrow. I find the whole thing obscene. First of all, because we're being lied to. Killing us is one thing, lying is another thing, right? I spoke to this guy, I said, why did none of the scientists in 2015 have the guts to go, it's not possible, right? It's physics. We're going over 1.5 6 years ago. Do you know what he said? He said, the vast majority of the world's scientists are white, they're middle class, they're from the global north, they're tenured professors at the world's most elite universities. And then he said, and this is a direct quote in a private conversation, he said, they do not want to rock the boat. They do not want to rock the boat. It's disgusting. Because there's been like hundreds of thousands of young people, millions of young people walking around the cities of this planet going, follow the science, 1.5, right? They're not going to be happy, are they? They're going to be mad as hell. They're already mad as hell. The only reason they're expressing it is because of this whole COP middle-class repression bollocks, right? It's coming, though. I've just talked to 40 students. It's coming. I spoke to another scientist. He wrote, like, the future of the human niche, right? It was on page 5 of The Guardian. You know how that works? It's like, we're all fucked. It's on page 5 of The Guardian. 3 hours later, it's off. You know that routine? It's disgusting. That's what it is. What did he say? I was on Zoom. He said, at 2 degrees, which, by the way, is 7 degrees inland, at 2 degrees, 1,000 million people are not going to be able to live where they're living. What the fuck does that mean? Right? Who's actually explaining at this conference what 1,000 million people not being able to live where they live means? What does that mean? Why is no one talking about what it actually means? Right? I'm from Manchester. I was brought up to call a spade a spade. I'll tell you what it means. It means death, slaughter, rape, starvation for millions of people. I find that disgusting. I was not brought up to just go, oh, upsetting. Oh, that's a bit unfortunate. That shows a lack of ambition. Fuck. That's why I hate being here. So David King, earlier this year, in Australia, what did he say? We've got 3 to 4 years to determine the future of humanity. What the fuck does that mean? It's fucking Oxbridge euphemism. What it means is billions of people are going to starve to death. I said that on Hard Talk, right? And they destroyed me. I was just telling them what scientists have been saying for 30 years, for God's sake. What do you think the end of civilization means? A picnic? It's disgusting. That's what it is. Why is it that I have to come to COP to tell people it's fucking disgusting? Where are all these people? Where are they all? I mean, I'm just a fucking mobilization specialist. I don't want to have to come up here and tell people it's fucking disgusting. That's what it is. That's why I've been reading Hannah Arendt, right? In 1934, when she went to France, she said, you've got 2 things on the Nazi thing, right? You're complicit or you're in rebellion. In 1934, that took guts, right? That took guts in 1934, didn't it? She's a hero. Why is nothing happening? Well, something did happen, didn't it? There was a march. For Pete's sake, right? A march. Been marching for 30 years. Extinction Rebellion was set up to go, we're not doing marches. Why is that? Because they're disgusting, right? They're disgusting. You've got billions of people being subject to the greatest injustice in the history of humanity. And what do the NGOs do? Organise a fucking march, right? That's why Extinction Rebellion was set up. No more marches. You know, if there are kids in this city, right, and they're putting gas into their classrooms and killing them, do you think people would be marching about it? No. But as long as it's like 500 million black Africans, that's sort of okay. We can just have a march, right? Yeah? And if there was like a plan to put gas to destroy the whole of Sudan, would we still be doing a march? It's not just Sudan, is it? It's the whole damn thing. Yeah, when I was a kid, right, when I was 17, it was punk. Do you know what the punk said to the British establishment? Do you remember those days? Do any of you remember how people used to talk when shit was happening? What they said to the British establishment was, fuck you! Right? Why isn't the climate movement saying, fuck you? What are we doing? Really? What are we doing? The problem is the NGOs. You know, let's call a spade a spade. The problem is the NGOs. Over and over and over again. Let's have a march. Let's pay £3 to save the world, right? Let's send some petitions, right? Not only is it irrelevant, right? It undermines the whole narrative of reality. It's not on. You know, I've got no problem with marches. 1995, go and have a bloody march, right? 2021, are you serious? serious? You know, that's why Martin Luther King said the white moderates in 1965 are worse than the fucking Ku Klux Klan. That's what he said. Why did he say it? Because the white moderates were undermining the whole project. And the NGOs in 2021 are undermining the whole project to keep their fucking money. Right? Why did they get you to sign a petition? I know, it's to get your data, to get money out of them, to pay their wages. Right? That's what's going on. It's disgusting. They should be fucking ashamed of themselves. I went to the head of Greenpeace. They wouldn't even send out an email to ask people to do civil resistance. Don't pretend, right? We're all friends. We're not. This movement has to grow up and get into civil resistance. Otherwise it's fucked. And the next 10,000 generations will spit on our graves. They will. It's a hard world out there. Because we spat on them by saying, let's have a march. Fuck, you know? Do you do yoga outside Auschwitz? Really? Do you? Do you go and do yoga outside Auschwitz? Do you send like a letter to Mao? Do you like email Hitler? No. You enter into civil resistance because that's the only respectable thing to do. Right? Forget the effectiveness. What does civil resistance look like? It looks like Insulate Britain, right? It's a little glimmer, isn't it? It's a little glimmer of what it's going to look like in a few years' time, right? In the roads, day after day after day after day, 17 days in the roads, right? Everyone hates you. That's how you create change, right? That's how you always created change. That's how the suffragettes created change, right? That's how the civil rights movement created change. That's how ACT UP created change. That's our tradition. Our tradition is not to go on a fucking march in 2021. Right, let's get that into our heads. We're part of a tradition and we need to honour that tradition. And that tradition is to fight like hell against evil. That's our tradition, right? No holds barred. And there's 32 people going to go to prison, right, in the next few weeks for Insulate Britain, if they've got the guts to put them in prison. And that's a good thing, right? It's a good thing because it shows them up for what they are, which is murderers. Murderers, that's what they are. That's what it means to sit there in COP and go, we haven't quite got enough ambition. We haven't got enough ambition to save the next generation. What the fuck? People have rights, right? Since the French Revolution, we have rights. It's not a matter of ambition to exist, is it? Is it? You know, I get attacked all the time for being, like, politically incorrect. Go and talk to fucking Greenpeace, right? In those Guardian articles where they say China's not showing that much ambition. You know, we could show some more ambition. Fucking hell. Makes me want to throw the computer across the room. Have you ever felt like that? Fucking hell. What else have I got to say? Yeah. Do you know how many times the police called at my house before I came up? 4 times. 4 times in 48 hours. 2 times, like, at 1 o'clock in the morning. They're coming to my house every night to check that I'm not doing anything naughty. You get it? That's civil resistance. That's good. Bring it on. It's nothing, right? It's nothing compared with what these people have to go through. I don't give a fuck. Right? It can come like 10 times a night for all I care. Because I'm in civil resistance, right? You know, this is what I want to try and communicate to you, right? You in the room, right? Is civil resistance, right? Let's think concretely what we mean. Let's think concretely, right? This is the opposite of COP, isn't it? Everything's so fucking abstract, you know. We're going to have system change. What the fuck, you know? What does it mean? This is what it means, okay? You go out, you get arrested, you get arrested, you get arrested, you go to prison, you get out, you have a little break, you get arrested, you get arrested, you get arrested, you go to prison, right? That's what people have been doing for thousands of years, okay? And then they say they're going to put you in jail for 2 years, and you go, do it. Go and do it, yeah? And then they say they're going to come for your house, and you say, go on then, do it. And then they say they're going to come for your money, and you just say, bring it on. Right? That's civil resistance. It's a completely different logic, right, to bourgeois protest. You see what I mean? It's not like, here's my nice privileged world, and once a year I go and do a little thing over there. No, no, no. It's everything's on the table, right? That's the tradition. That's how you change history in 2021. And we need 400 people. We've got 100. We need 400 people. That's it. Claire's wrong. We don't need fucking thousands of people. I'm a specialist. I know this shit, right? We need 400 people to go day after day after day. And then, for the first time, we will get a victory. And when we get that victory, the world will explode. Take it from me. The world will explode when we finally realise we can do this shit, right? There's groups in Australia, Canada, Germany, Scandinavia, right? Czech Republic, Italy, they're all going out to block motorways. Why? Because they've got a glimmer, right, of what it looks like, of what this looks like, to finally go, no, no, no. No, 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 no. You know, push, push, push. When we go on interviews, we're not answering the fucking questions anymore. You know, they've had 30 years to ask the questions. We're going in saying 3 to 4 years, 3 to 4 years, 3 to 4 years, right? And Tracy gets people coming up in the street going, what's this 3 to 4 years? What, we've only got 3 to 4 years? Oh my God, suddenly there's 10 million conversations in this country going, fuck, we've only got 3 to 4 years. Because we've only got 3 to 4 years, right? That's our democratic duty. That's what IB is. That's what insulation is, right? Insulate Britain is a democratic process of telling the country the reality of what's going on, right? Not all this COP, like elite repressed fuckery. Let's get out there. That's why I'm off, right? Tomorrow morning, I'm doing a meeting in Middlesbrough. I'm going to Newcastle. I do 5 meetings a week, in and out, right? Martin Luther King used to do 5 meetings a fucking day. That's serious, okay? You know? 70 hours a week. If you want to change history, 70 hours a week. Not all this like, I'm doing a course. You know, I've got my partner to think of. Those days are gone. You see how it works? That's how it works. I've gone on more than 10 minutes. Do apologise. So I'll just finish with Hannah Arendt. What does Hannah Arendt say, right? In the 1930s. You know what she said? She said, hope is a load of bollocks, right? That's Manchester speak for Hannah Arendt. That's what she said. Hope is a load of bollocks, right? In dark times, hope's rubbish. It just destroys you. What it is to be human is to act, right? You get out of this meeting, right? You put your name down and you go and act. You go on your non-violence training and you're out and you act in community, in resistance. Because when you're facing evil, action is resistance, right? That's it. That's your only existential role, right? Is to act. That's it. Hope doesn't come into it. You see what I mean? And through that process, through the miracle of action, humanity brings something new into the world that we never thought could be possible. And in the next 6 months and in the next year, you will see the impossible come into existence through action, right? Whether you want to be part of it or not, it's coming. And in the meantime, someone show some fucking emotion at this place, right? God almighty. What is it? It's like a Victorian picnic, isn't it? That's it. Stop there.